Well, it's me again, Kel Surprise. Good night's sleep. Feel much better today than I felt yesterday. To wake up not feeling um, hungover, I suppose, feels really good. And I've been to let the chickens out, and I've checked on the sheep because we've got the older mum. How old is she? I don't know how old she is. I think she might be probably about 10. I can see that she's not um, as big as Ivy and or is it Ida? I've got them muddled up now. When I named them, I remembered who they were, but it's so difficult to remember who's who now. But I can see that she's losing weight, and the problem is, as sheep age, they lose their teeth, and eventually, they can't really eat because they haven't got any teeth. And more recently, she's been not really interested in the supplement food that we give them when we go down to do the chickens. It's not a lot, but it's a bit of a ritual, and she's been refusing it over, I don't know, several weeks now. So I'm sort of a bit more aware of having to check where they are in the morning. Because as we learned when our ram died, is that they don't let you see that they're vulnerable, obviously, because they're because of predators. So she'll not show when she's failing. We know she is, and we can see she's losing weight, and by her behaviour. But yeah, so I go and check in every morning to see where they are, and they're both eating. Well, they're both grazing on grass. I don't know what happens to the grass that she grazes on, or how she manages with that, but that's what they're doing over by the bamboo. Chickens are fine. We're supposed to be undercover and locked in because of avian flu, and but I noticed that our neighbour up the road, when we did the walk the other day, and the geese, and they were all free ranging his chickens, and I'm thinking, once Ludo comes and sorts the fence out between us and our neighbour at the back, which he plans to do, I think, this month, I'm going to let my chickens out. They're not covered from birds anyway. Even when they're locked in, they're in their run, it's just too big to net it. So I'm going to let them out. I'm confused. We had I remember somebody coming round from our rubbish collection people last year, talking to us about you're going to get bins, wheelie bins, or we're going to change the system, and we're going to take away the bins at the end of the road, and you'll have red sacks that are barcoded. So I had this conversation with this young woman at the end of the driveway back in the summer, vaguely remember it, and I'm sure that we got all of this leaflety stuff when she spoke to me about it before. And this came through the post a couple of days ago, or even might have been yesterday morning. Does it matter? No. I had to put it to one side because we were on our way out, and thought, oh well, I'll look at that eventually when I'm not feeling hungover and tired and not fit for anything. And then our neighbour Francois called us that evening, yesterday evening or the evening before, from Paris, to ask if she, to say that she'd asked if they could leave the bins with us because she's not here, and then when her gardener comes, he'll take them. And I sort of thought, well, I didn't think we were getting bins. I thought we were getting the sacks. But I might be wrong. And I said to her, I thought we were getting sacks, and she said, no, it's bins. And if you've not received them, you need to ring them. And I'm thinking, I ain't doing that. So yeah. So it's sort of très compliqué. There's that page, and there's that page, and I will sit down and look at it properly and try and make sense of it. But at the moment, I have no idea. So we had yesterday, we had the Cajun chicken and the polenta. Oh yeah, it was really yummy. Definitely going to do that one again. Um, won't do it again today, however tempted I am. But it was really nice, and because we'd had the scrambled egg with spinach and parmesan for lunch, which I hadn't enjoyed. Um, Mark had apparently, but I hadn't, and it was really small. It was really nice to have a meal that felt sustaining and comforting, I suppose. I've cooked polenta in the past, or attempted to cook polenta in the past, and I've never found a way to cook it that's not bland. But this worked out really well. It was polenta with cauliflower, riced cauliflower in it, and I used it says a vegetable stock cube. And parmesan, but I use a chicken stock cube because it was Cajun chicken, so it's like I'm not vegetarian, and I thought the chicken stock cube would have more flavour. But it was really nice. I really enjoyed it, so that's one to do again. And then this lunchtime, we're having a super protein packed salad, which looks really nice, and I'm looking forward to making. It's only 9:45 here in the morning at the moment, so I won't be making it yet. But yeah, looking forward to that. Really feeling good about being back on the Fast 800, and I know that we're on and off it, and it looks like we're not committed to it, but we were committed for 12 weeks in October 2020. Is it 2020? Yeah, 2020 through to mid-February 21. And we've touched base with it several times since then, and it helps us keep on track, and I know that it's what works for us. And just getting back to this after Christmas and New Year, it feels really good. And um, I just carry on doing what I can and doing the food from that. I think when I went to it last time, I sort of said, well, okay, I'll do it in the week, and we'll take the weekend off. And but I won't do that for the next couple of weeks. I'll just keep on track, make sure I've got the food in the house I need to be able to cook it. That's the important thing. It's having the ingredients. And I when I went into Leclerc yesterday, I bought um some of the more expensive things that I wouldn't normally buy. I bought a big pack of green beans that are now at this time of year have been imported, and normally in France we eat seasonal food, so the imported bean, I think they came from Kenya, were more expensive, and I bought a pack of those. I bought some Monge too, which I don't normally buy, and I bought something else, and I'm just going to make sure I use lots of good ingredients and keep us on track. So it'll mean I'll have to shop again next week because I go through the ingredients quite quickly, but it's worth it. So I still haven't weighed myself since Christmas, and I'm not intending to weigh myself until, I don't know, maybe next week, once we've sort of been in doing this for a few days. I don't want to look, and I'd rather look and find that it's not too bad. I'm doing the right thing. I don't need to know what I weigh. I'm a lot less than I was when I started the regime in October. I'd probably gained 2 or 3 kilos. I think I'd lost by February. I think I'd lost 17 kilos. And I know I'm still morbidly obese, and I'm fighting against steroids. I'd love to know how much I would have lost if I hadn't been taking steroids. I don't know. It'll be a long time before I get low enough for those not to be impacting. It's been really hard. It's really hard to reduce your steroids. My illness appears to be under control. I get a blood test every month, and it shows my inflammation levels, and my inflammation levels are quite low at the moment, which suggests that the illness is at bay. But to reduce my steroids because I shouldn't be needing so many is so hard. I've tried last year. I tried 3 times to come down, and it's like you're coming down half a milligram just 0.5 milligram over the period of a month. So you really step down really slowly, but you start to get pain, you start to get some sort of rebound pain. And I, at one time when I was coming down on my steroids, started having very brief hallucinations. So it's really unpleasant. And when you're not feeling 100%, today I'm feeling 100%, but yesterday I wasn't. And when you're not feeling 100% and you're also trying to reduce your steroids, I mean, it's really difficult. And it's like, well, it's a balance. It's a balance between a quality of life, really, and that's the balance at the moment. So I think with the cold weather, with it being winter, all of the impact of that is probably not a good time to reduce. But I will look at it again in spring when things are moving, life's getting better, light levels, weather's getting better. I might look at it again, but it's really quite hard to come down, and really depressing when you do come down and find that you've got to go back up again because your body's not happy, and you're going back into, your illness is coming back, your inflammation levels are going up. Don't know why I'm talking to you about this. Oh, because I was talking about food, diet, what would have happened. Yeah. So I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't been on steroids. It would have been amazing. Maybe. We'll see. Because we intermittent fast as well. So we don't eat. I've not eaten. It's 9:45. We don't eat till midday, and we stop eating around 8 or 9 in the evening. So that really helps. I think if we hadn't have been, which we've been doing that for 5 years, if we hadn't have been intermittent fasting as well, we would have, the weight loss wouldn't have been so good. We both really lost a lot of weight, and it was really good. So intermittent fasting and very reduced calories and very tasty food. Couldn't get better than that, could you? So this is quite early, and it will upload, and you'll get this later on this afternoon. And I hope you're having a nice day, and see you again soon.